Welcome back to Zone 3A Container Garden in an industrial area. I never show this bed. This is just a little planter I made years ago, and all these marigolds were from marigolds that I planted last year, and then in the spring when I prepped this bed I just pulled all the seeds out and sprinkled them in the bed as I was cleaning up the dead flower or dead plants. The alyssum is what I planted from seed in the spring. So yeah, I had some poppies growing here. I cut them all out, and now the marigolds are going strong. Let's go inside and see what I harvested today. These are some of the potatoes I harvested today. They're mostly russets. There's probably some Yukon Gold in there somewhere. I also have many bags of carrots, and I have carrots at home and carrots in the fridge here at work. Let's go down to the other end of the warehouse and see what else I harvested. These are some more of the potatoes I harvested today. And you can see in here I harvested a bunch of rutabagas. There's some big ones and some smaller ones. And a bunch of red carrots. These are the onions I harvested a couple weeks ago. They're still drying out. I tried making a braid. And we have yellow onions over here. Now let's go outside and see what the garden looks like. Here's the garden on September 9th. You can see my Flanders Fields poppy bed is a little worse for wear, but that's alright. These are baked potato squash, winter squash, bush type squash. They didn't grow a whole lot. I got 4, 5 maybe. I don't know where this one came from. I guess I gotta take that home now. Toss it in this bed for now. This is the Bloody Butcher dent corn. I'm hoping some of these ears produce some viable seed. You see this stalk here has some ears growing on it. That's what it looks like. That corn should grow about 14 feet high. It's only about 10 or 12, the tallest one there. So that's without bed prep. Volunteer mustard from a mustard plant I had 2 years ago. This was carrots we harvested. Beets, I harvested most of these, the good ones, out of this bed. There's still a lot in this bed that are ready to go. This is going to make up my some of my seed for next year for onions. They look really nice. Come on, focus. Anyway, very interesting flower. It's allium, obviously. This is where the onions were. I threw some beans in there. I don't know. I just threw some stuff in there. Volunteer parsnip. I ain't going to pull that until the very end if I do pull it. Alright, some garlic I planted the other day. Let's take a look here. This is garlic that I bought at the grocery store. I planted 2 inches deep on September 4th, and I wet the soil. This was onions as well. These are the red carrots I showed you in the warehouse. I just pulled them today. The soil was pretty moist, so I had to wash the carrots off. I'm going to let this dry out, and then I'll harvest the rest when they're dry. These are orange carrots. I'll harvest them when they're dry. Zucchini is getting hit hard with the powdery mildew, but still producing zucchinis. My little fountain. The other poppy bed, you can see I spread some blueberry poppy seeds in here, so we might have some fall poppies if the frost holds off. But the rest of the poppies are still going well, really well. This is the potatoes I harvested today. So these are all the russets and one bed of Yukon Gold. I don't know which one because I forgot to mark it. These are all the red potatoes, so they're left to harvest. I don't know when I'm going to do that. Soon. Purple carrots need to harvest. Rutabagas still left to harvest. And you see the cabbage moths trying to mate. we're bothering them. This here bed of garlic I just planted today. This is garlic I bought at the grocery store. I planted 5 inches deep this time, and I planted it today, September 9th, and I did not moisten the soil as much as the other one. I just lightly watered. The soil is somewhat dry, not bone dry, but it's not sopping wet. It's moist enough, you know? So we'll see how that one works out for me. The Marketmore cucumbers did great after they started getting pollinated by the bees. Once the bees showed up, I got lots of cucumbers. This is sugar table squash. Didn't produce as much as I wanted. Produces this little squash thing here. I don't know, I didn't get too many. 3 maybe, 2. Jalapenos doing all right. Milkweed's doing all right. Got pollinated as well, so it looks like we're gonna have some seeds this year for milkweed. Carrots. I'm gonna grow more milkweed next year. It looks nice. Carrots, more rutabaga. More cabbage moths. Look at them. They're probably trying to lay eggs. This is what you don't want in your garden. Anyway, we'll let them be. The rutabaga is done for the year anyway. Carrots. This was the fingerling potatoes. And birds are flying away as we walk towards them. The celery I need to plant further apart next year. That's my best one. It's not very big, but the size of a softball. Second harvest of cabbage is getting pretty bug eaten. That one back there is just destroyed, but we'll see what happens with them. This is another bed of garlic. Garlic I bought at the grocery store, 2 inches deep, September 4th, wet. And I prepped it, so I added fertilizer. So I wet the soil down pretty good after I planted it. Watered it in very well, I guess you could say. I've drilled holes in the front of all the garlic beds, so when the spring thaw hits and the snow starts melting, it doesn't pool inside the bins because it can't run to the bottom and drain out. So it can drain out the sides, so I don't have soup in there rotting my garlic. That might help for next year. Who knows? If you don't know, my garlic rotted this year and did not germinate, or did not sprout. Store-bought jalapenos doing great. I want to plant more Morning Glory next year. The early riser field corn is a success. Look at that, it's beautiful. Just letting it dry. Let it dry out in the cob. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to dry corn. I don't know, but we'll see. The Scarlet Runner beans are not really something people eat, but I think they're going to sound really cool. Rattling in the wind in the wintertime when I come back here. I might plant them again next year because they did a good job of covering, but I might pick a different type of runner bean that produces more edible beans. You can see the Scarlet Runner going up the fence here into the neighbor's yard. I also have, if you look over here where the tomatoes are, look through the fence. I started a wild dill patch in the neighbor's yard. They can thank me later. Sunflowers are just about to an end. The warty gnome pumpkins look awesome. They're very small, but they look really nice. And the porcelain doll pumpkins. You see one back there, and there's a little one here. And there's a few more here. I think this one got hybridized with the warty gnome. And there's another nice porcelain doll pumpkin in here I found. Anyway, That's Zone 3A Container Garden in an industrial area, September 9th. And we'll see what the future has to bring. Look at that corn. I think it's ready to pick. Pick it, peel it, let it dry. What do you think? Leave a comment below.